Ain't no variant like a C2E2 variant. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Well, this weekend we got C2E2, the Chicago Comic and Entertainment Expo, a wonderful Comic-Con that I was able to go to last year, had a ton of fun. But unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make it out there, and maybe that's a good thing for my wallet, because if I did go to C2E2, I would be bombarded by over 350 variants. Yes, that is right. You heard that number correctly. We got a lot of exclusives at this show. You know, it's been a couple years since we had the fallout of C2E2 Acetate Gate. Man, oh man, those were the days. But I always feel like ever since we had that moment, the exclusive con variant game has not gone away, but I would say certainly slowed down. I mean, I think it's fair to say that, comic prices have been going down, sentiment around variants have been going down, and people pulled back. In general, a lot of the online retailers and comic publishers decided to not make them as much because obviously they weren't as fruitful as they once were, during the height of, comics in 2021 and 2022. But here we are now in 2025 and, starting earlier this year with MegaCon, then going into WonderCon and now C2E2, I kind of feel like, maybe the fervor is there once again, at least on the retailer publisher side, because they're making a lot of them. Now, the question is the comic market able to absorb it? Well, in this video, we're going to talk about that. But of course, before I get into it, if you guys could like, comment, subscribe, I appreciate it. Helps support the channel doing those things. But let us get into it. Hey, did you guys notice this? Look at this. That's my video. Am I the #1 SEO of C2E2? Does that happen for you guys too? If you just type into Google C2E2, does my video come up? Oh, great. Now I'm going to be the face of Clayton Crane's Miles Morales book for the rest of my days. Anyways, let's move on to this. C2E2 2025. Key Collector, of course, has this nifty little feature where they group all the books together, and I thought I would want to, look through them with you guys. I mean, being that this is coming up, I'm always curious to see, which of these books, set the market on fire, which things go crazy, what everyone decides to buy, because I'm sure that after this weekend, one of these books is going to raise to the top, right? Like something is going to come out and be the quote unquote big winner of the show. I mean, already on eBay, we're seeing lots of crazy sales for these books. I mean, pages and pages and pages already, even before the con, which let's not dive too deep on this talking point. Maybe I can talk about this a little later on in the video, but isn't it funny how it's like now before the show even starts, you can already buy the books. What makes them really so exclusive anymore? I know this has been something we've been talking about for years now. But it never fails to amaze me, right? That you could just buy all the exclusives before the show. Like, what's the point of going to the show if you could just buy them online? Shouldn't we all have this social contract where you can't buy the book until at least the Friday of the show? I feel like that would be a better thing to do. It makes it more exciting. Although, if I'm being honest, this is probably a really good thing for the sellers and the publishers because they want people to have FOMO going into the con because it's going to make their books easier to sell because they see online that, hey, this Mary Jane Venom variant is already selling for $50. That's a good thing if you have that exclusive. But I digress. Let's get into the books right here. Now, this one is probably going to go bananas. Of course, we have the Mark Spears variant for his Monsters book, issue number 4. Key Collector has this little nifty feature available on the Whatnot app from Comic Tom 101 and Davis Ryder. Shout out to Tom and Davis Ryder because, as you guys are about to see, they have like a bajillion variants. There's 350 variants at this show, and for some reason, Comic Tom and Davis Ryder have 351. I don't know how the math's there, but I'm not kidding you. There's a lot of them. Now, this one is cool though because it's limited to 100, and you actually can't buy them yet. So I actually respect that. I respect that it's only going to show up on their Whatnot stream. We'll have to check back in on that one. This one is super interesting to me. Tribute to Bob Marley #1. This one's done by Tidal Wave and limited to 15 copies. It's scarce, guys, therefore it's valuable. I mean, I think that that's how it works. But isn't that funny that we're kind of having these like variants that are limited to these really small numbers now? I mean, it makes sense. Look how competitive this market is. Like, is there really that many people that are going to be able to buy this many books? The answer is probably not. I mean, how many people are interested specifically in, a Bob Marley kind of homage right here? And will they actually be willing to pay, I guess, $35 is what this thing goes for. I mean, you could probably only find 15 people, so or 16 people, so it kind of makes sense. I mean, as to why you would have that limited amount. Now, this one I thought was pretty cool. I wasn't too familiar with Chills from the Grave, but check this one out right here. It's very interesting how Mickey is now in public domain. and people are using, the likeness and using the images to create some of these crazy covers. I mean, this is definitely pretty wild. Honestly, it kind of begs the question. I'm not entirely sure how any of these companies get around this whole thing. Like, can you just use Bob Marley like this and put his name in the tribute right here and sell it? I guess if you say it's a tribute, you don't have to pay that company royalties. Is that how that works? Can somebody in the comments let me know how this actually works? Check out this one right here. Of course, we have some G.I. Joe Real American Heroes available on Whatnot from the Strange Tales to Sell, Mellow Fellow, and Jack DeMaio. Whatnot's right there. I mean, always G.I. Joe. Of course, we wouldn't be a show without some Vampirella books available on Whatnot with Pups Comics. Now, this is, again, I think is kind of fascinating that Key Collector has kind of introduced this pipeline. And I know a lot of the comments are going to be like, oh, this is just, books being sold on Whatnot. Guys, I don't really want to get into that whole conversation, but it does kind of show that this is now the mechanism of how people find out about a lot of comic books. Now, this one, in my opinion, is actually really cool. Lucky Devils #1, written by Charles Soule, drawn by Ryan Brown. If you guys want a comic book recommendation from me, I'll tell you this, 8 Billion Genies, hands down, the best written thing of the last 5 years. That's a Swaggle recommendation. But this book right here, I also read issue #1 by Charles Soule. Really, really great opening issue. I really enjoyed it. And I'm looking forward to where the rest of the series goes. I think Charles Soule is one of the best writers that we have working today. I really, really admire and respect his work. Frankly, because his work is good and coherent. And that's high praise coming in comic books today. All right, we got some absolute Batman books right there. We got a tribute to Keanu Reeves right there. Shout out to Pressable Defects, trying to manifest some casting, for Ghost Rider. Do we think that Keanu Reeves is going to be Ghost Rider? I mean, that would be pretty cool. We got some more Comic Tom Venom. We got some more Comic Tom Marvel Rivals books. This is something that's kind of funny, guys. I noticed a ton of Marvel Rivals variants starting to be made out there. Got some more Department of Truth stuff right there with, again, another Comic Tom exclusive. I don't know why anyone would want this cover right here. You got a little tribute to Brandon Lee. You got some more Mark Spears. You got some other books right here. You got the Sugar Pop one, I Heart Chicago. I wonder what they're blanking out right there on the left and right side of the cover. I can't actually put my finger on it, but limited to 25 copies. I'm sure that there is not 25 comic collectors that are going to buy something like this. No way. We have this X-Men #12 right here. I mean, I have to admit, when I saw this, I was like, all right, pretty cool. Homage to the Jim Lee cards from back in the day. Available at booth 627, so not on Whatnot. Then this was interesting, a lot of Pokemon variants. Of course, we all know Pokemon is going crazy right now. Again, I don't know how they get away with this. The Amazing Pocket Monsters. I mean, I don't know if you guys knew about the news that happened in the video game world, but it was a game called Pal World that came out and absolutely blew up amongst video game players, but then it became like a big legal battle and legal issue with Pokemon. So I never understand how a lot of these companies get around this whole thing. Maybe it's because they're just too small to be noticed by Nintendo. Look at this. Everybody's just making, books with hot girls on the cover. Like, do they not understand like what people want? I mean, even Mark Spears doesn't get it. Like putting another hot girl on the cover. Zombie Tramp #56 with another hot zombie. I mean, guys, do you think that you understand the comic collecting market? I mean, nobody's gonna buy this stuff, right? Which brings us to all new Venom #5, the Mary Jane cover. In my opinion, the most infamous cover of the most infamous maybe comic book going on right now. I mean, I don't know, guys. What do you think about this one? Is it good? I mean, I feel like it's definitely going to sell, but like, is it good though? Actually, how old is she in the comic books these days? Have they aged her up? She got some looking for the pool boy vibes, if you know what I mean. Swag, you're going to get canceled for saying that. You're right. Let's move on. We got more Amazing Spider-Man #1s. We got more Marvel Rival covers right here with like, cutesy little like Jeff the Landshark type of stuff. So again, Batman, Spider-Man, aesthetics of books that nobody actually cares about. We got some Doom. Hey, we got more Marvel Rivals right there. And then, of course, last but not least, Transformers, Mark Spears, Megatron, another Comic Tom exclusive. I think that one is going to sell very well. I think a lot of them are going to sell very well. I mean, look at some of the numbers that are being pulled so far. $50 for the Mary Jane, $60 for the all-new Venom 5, $49 for this all-new Amazing Spider-Man 1. We got $50 for this one that I said was never going to sell. Another $50, another $40, another $60. I guess they already sold 4 of the 25 exclusives. We got an $80 sale for Keanu Reeves right there, 44 for that Vampirella. We got 25 for the White Queen, and more and more sales. I mean, $45 for the Marvel Rivals 1 right there. It's actually pretty crazy. You know, one of the things I think is really interesting, you know, in sort of the wake of all the conversation around the diamond and small press and publishers and variants and where comics are going in the future, I mean, you really have to sell premium priced comic books at this point. I mean, all of these variants, the cheapest ones are $25, you know, and this one was already 25% off of $34. Like, this is what it takes to be successful. You have to basically make 100 copies, sell them for, you know, $50 and make your money that way. I mean, that's really the game we're in. You know, you're catering to more of the quote unquote whale comic book collectors that are willing to spend this kind of money. It's a smaller pool. It's more competitive. I mean, this book right here has 3,000 total copies, the Ivantown one, and they're selling it for $32. So do you think that they'd actually be able to sell out on this book? I mean, that might be pretty tough, to be honest. Like, I'd be really impressed. I mean, that would be a great payday if you can get $32 on 3,000 copies. As soon as people are thinking C2E2, got to start listing it on eBay so you can capitalize on that sale, because you don't have much time these days to actually move or sell a lot of these variants anymore because, again, it's very, very competitive out there. There's a lot of people trying to sell variants, and the question is, are there a lot of people still interested in them? Well, seemingly, based on the pre-sales on eBay, they are for now. Anyways, that's all for this video. That was me going over a few of the C2E2 variants. Man, oh man, it just feels like C2E2 and variants are they're just the best. They're just the most fun because I get to pull out my popcorn and see, you know, what's eventually going to happen. Oh, by the way, shout out to Rob from Neo Cards and Comics who put this one out to me, made a good little joke about it. Peach Momoko says, if you're going to C2E2, I won't be there, but my cover will be. Check that out, guys. Another Marvel Rivals Peach Momoko Psylocke variant. What do you guys think? Over or under 1.5 fights for the C2E2 Peach Momoko variant? I'm just kidding. I don't want anyone to fight. Although it will be interesting content next week. Anyways, that's all for this one. What do you guys think about C2E2? Are you going to the show? Are you looking forward to picking up any of these books? What do you guys think about all the variants that are going to be there? 350 plus variants, plus all the other comic books that are going to be there. Do you think that this is too much? Are we back into the variant craze game? If you're an online retailer, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the variant selling market. Is the demand still there, or are you looking to capitalize on those micro print counts? Let me know in the comments. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. See y'all in the next video.